3. This is my third session shooting today. My first one, I talked about my Pokemon cards. Not the opening video, my binder of Pokemon cards. And I'm like, well, this isn't really all that interesting. And 2 Pokemon card videos back to back. Not my favorite thing. Oh, by the way, it's November 16th at 4:22 p.m. And then I filmed the second one that I got a decent amount into. I didn't start showing off the records, but I had a pretty good like opening. These dark circles are fucking crazy, dude. I'm tired. I'm so tired. Had a pretty good opening, and then I got a full storage notification because, surprise, filming a 20-minute video and leaving it in your camera roll instead of getting rid of it will, it'll fill your storage up really fast. So fixed that. Got these. I filmed that video today of my Pokemon cards, and I'm like, well, this isn't interesting. And that was before I got the piercings, and I'm like, wouldn't it be interesting if I tried talking and working through the pain of having these piercings on live camera? They're not live camera, you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, yeah, sure. And I wanted to talk about my records today. I decided to pick 5 out. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because I didn't want the video to be too long. The last one was like 20 minutes, and it's like, I don't need to be yapping that much. And plus, like, I didn't choose 5 of my favorites. I chose 5 that have something interesting to say about them that I can like talk about for, you know, a decent amount of time, not just showing off like, here's the front, here's the back, black vinyl, and it's actually, there's no bonus tracks or nothing. So I chose things I could talk about for a reasonable amount of time, but I didn't pick all of my favorites or pick all of the most interesting ones. With that said, let's talk about them. This one is, look at the ring light and the fucking reflection. Death Grips, steroids, what is it, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Gabber mix? Yeah, Mega Mix, yeah. Here's a better look at the cover. This was a record store day exclusive. And I didn't know they were releasing it the day that it was out. I went to the record store to get the Flaming Lips release. This was in 2019, probably. They had a Flaming Lips release. And I'm like about that band, or I was about that band. They're fine, they're still good. I listened to their American something release, and I heard that one was really good. I just didn't click with it, so I gotta go back. But I went there on record store day, and I stumbled across the Death Grips record, and I go home and I look it up, and I realize that it's actually in quite limited quantity. So that was a good find. I think it's worth around like $180, $200 now. I think it's my most expensive record. And it's like really sick. Having Death Grip stuff on vinyl is like, there's so many Puritans out there that are gonna be like, well, vinyl isn't good for hip hop or isn't good for like heavy music like that. And I think those people should like eat shit and die, because it just has like a different vibe about it. I don't know. They just need to get their shit together. It's whatever. I said whatever again. I keep saying whatever. My ex just called me hot in an iMessage. I'm gonna donate my sperm to her, and we're gonna have a child, and I'm gonna be the godmother. This is the 100 Gax Tree of Clues remix album. I remember buying this downtown Omaha. Most of these are from downtown Omaha, Homer's. Really cool store, for the most part. Pretty standard record store experience. They tend to have a lot of stuff. Bought that there. I remember walking around downtown with it and being like, dude, this is like embarrassing. I'm like walking around with Gex stuff. I wanted to talk about this one because the pressing is just something else. It is kind of crazy. I can't get the light to catch behind it. I don't have a flashlight or a light source behind me at all. I don't want to show you my nightstand either. There's a few cups and stuff on there. But it is see-through for the most part. And it has like it looks like little ghosts and stuff. It's really cool. I was gonna talk about what songs off the last album I liked, but Death Grip, I think that thing's like 2 or 3 tracks, because it's like steroids, which takes up entire one side, and then there's like a drum solo and only a fairy, just a fairy, something like that on the other side. Obviously steroids is the way to go. On this one, I like the Black Dresses remix of 745. And I like Ringtone Remix of Charlie XCX, Rico Nasty, and Sarah Benito. Obviously, everyone loves that one. I don't know who doesn't. Okay, next one. This one. Isn't this fucking sick? This is the Mother 2 soundtrack for vinyl. Got the little band. One thing I love about import records is the band that comes around them. I don't know why. I think it just ties the record together really well. Look at that. We got the clay models of our protagonists, the Chosen Four. That's so sick. On the inside, look at that. Look the I'm gonna do a pan across my face, blocking my face. Do you see that? It's a good game. It's a good game. But it has a good soundtrack too. Really well put together. A lot of experimentation in terms of video game music on this one. Look at this. The thing about this record, it had a bunch of different colored pressings, and this one is based on Ness, our main protagonist, right there on the back. You see him in the top, right there. Look at that. That's his shirt. That's really cool, isn't it? He's in Smash Brothers, and he's like PK Flash, and then he kills everyone with it or whatever. Yeah, cool one. There's a Mother 1 vinyl I have as well. It's mostly a vocal album, a Japanese vocal album, but the last side D, is video game music, which is really cool because that's what I like about the Mother series. The vocal album side is cool though. Nice little interesting piece of history there. Look at this game. Here's a vocal album for it. You know, Mother was a decent. It wasn't like huge. I could talk about Mother forever. No, this is right. It looks weird because the view is reflected or flipped over on the y-axis for me. But this is Velocity Design Comfort by Sweet Trip, my favorite solo act. Don't look into it. There's only one girl in that band. There's no one else. This was just such like an important album to me in high school. I remember listening to it and it clicked really well. It didn't click really well. A few songs clicked. But the more I listened to it, I just kept losing myself in it with like the long run times, and I don't know, it was just, it's gorgeous. This has 2 discs. This one is blue, the other one is clear. But yeah, just beautiful, beautiful album. My favorite. It'll always be special to me. I will always correlate it with like my high school experience, especially like having a study hall and listening to it, and there's a few albums associated with that I might talk about at a different date. Yeah. The next one, our last one, number 5, right? I only chose 5. Look at that. Jane, what album is that? I don't recognize that album cover, you may be saying. And I laugh at your face because you're a fucking idiot. No, just kidding. I love you. Look at that. Still don't recognize it? You still don't get it? That is Arm & Hammer Haram. That's right. They pressed the vinyl and didn't have the pig's head cut off. This is really thick. Holy shit, I did not realize that. That is thick as hell. We got red vinyl, solid red vinyl. I fuck with it. The little pictures on each side of the disc are really cool. I don't know why I chose this one. I just like Arm & Hammer. Really cool. I saw them live, maybe. That's a good thing to talk about. I saw them live with my dear friend Doug. Maybe he will be watching, maybe he won't. That's fine. Love Doug. I wish I could hang out with him more. One saw them live with Doug. Very cool experience seeing Billy Woods. You know, someone who is like so the best rapper out right now, if we're being honest. Billy Woods is. One of the best songwriters in general. Like if Phil Elverum wasn't around, I think it's definitely a tie between the two. It's hard saying which one is better. Just super talented, super thought-provoking. Truly a writer, truly a genius. More people should listen to Billy Woods music, and more people should listen to Arm & Hammer. Very cool act. A lot of people there. I met my friend, my friend Sharon there. Sharon. I'm sorry, I'm bad with names. But I didn't really talk with her. Doug was talking with her. She was wearing a Have a Nice Life shirt from their last album that was kind of mid. But the shirt was sick. The cover of that album was sick. And seeing them live was really cool. It was like in the waiting room in Omaha, so it was like really tightly packed. There were maybe 50 people in attendance. It was so loud, and I remember the lights of the stage were so bright. Billy was like, "Dude, turn that shit down." And we gotta talk afterwards. I have a picture of me, early transition, so I don't really fuck with it. Of me talking, or me with like posing with Billy Woods. And Lucid too. I should not glaze past Lucid. Lucid is a very talented hip hop artist as well. I don't listen to his solo music as much as I listen to Billy Woods' solo music, just because they're on a different level. But no, he's really talented. I love his delivery. I love his flow. He's very, very, very cool, very charismatic guy. Very nice stage presence too. I love him. Uh, yeah, cool show. I remember my ex Emily getting really upset that I went, even though she was like kind of ghosting me at the time. That's another story though. We don't we don't fuck with that. And yeah, that was my last album. That was number 5. But here's number 6, actually, because I chose 6 because I'm really funny and subverted expectations. This is Sick by Earl Sweatshirt. There he is, the man himself. This album came out in 2022. I don't remember much about its launch, truthfully. I do remember listening to it. I think I was on my way to South Dakota with my dad. Or I was on my way back from South Dakota with my dad to go get my brother from South Dakota because me and my other brother were texting each other in a group chat with his third brother, the one that was in South Dakota, talking about how he needs to break up with his girlfriend and how awful she is and how like incompatible they are. And he's in the shower. Noah, my brother that is in South Dakota, was in the shower while we were texting. Me and my brother Zach were texting in the group chat, and this girl is looking at Noah's Apple Watch as all these texts are coming through, sees all these texts, sees everything Noah said, and like, yeah, I'm gonna break up with her once I leave. I just need a ride back to Nebraska. So she dumps him in South Dakota. So me and my dad have to go out 10 p.m., 3-hour drive north, which isn't bad if it wasn't 3 p.m. So we go north, and as we're going north, it gets colder and colder. This was sometime in the winter because we were either getting Christmas decorations or putting Christmas decorations in the storage unit. Either way, winter, getting colder as we go north. And suddenly, the whole night, my dad has been trying to talk me out of transitioning. Like, oh, look at all the regret rates. Look at how botched these people are. And it was just making me feel real bad. Here's a poster of Earl Sweatshirt. Track list, credits and stuff. Z Loopers is on this one. I like that guy. And I remember on the way there we were listening to MF Doom, Food. I can't remember the exact song. But as we're going north, it gets colder, and we eventually he loses traction. The car's fishtailing. There's this truck behind us, and I'm afraid we're gonna hit. We're like spinning out of control. Suddenly we're like in a ditch, and it's like, what the fuck just happened? And I guess we didn't notice, but the roads were covered with black ice because so that was horrifying. I thought we were gonna die. I was scared out of my mind. That was horrifying. That might be the close. Not counting the time I was born. That might be the closest I have ever been to dying. But I remember on the way back listening to Earl Sweatshirt, or at least maybe it wasn't listening to Earl Sweatshirt on that trip at all. But definitely on the route, I was listening to Earl Sweatshirt. This album specifically, EP album. I think it's an album. And I went to the record store with my girlfriend Isabel, and I'm like, she's like, oh yeah, you should just go through the discount record, see what's up, see what's for a lower price than listed. I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? There's usually junk in here. And then I find this one, and I'm like, what the fuck? There has to be something wrong with this. And then I go up to the counter, and it's like this thing was like $15. This was nothing. So I go up to the counter. I'm like, hey, is this record damaged? She's like, no, it's not. It's just been here for a year, and nobody's buying it, so we gotta discount it. And I'm like, oh shit, well, okay. Granted, I don't think she knew it was actually damaged. I don't think this little bit of damage right here, I don't think that was why it was cut, because every other Sick album in there was also discounted. I just didn't notice until I revisited. But it was just really funny. Like, I'm like, damn, my goat's washed. But yeah, that was cool. It was cool getting such a, I was looking at the track list, and I'm like, I do not remember any of this. But then I went back through and it's like, okay, I remember Tabula Rasa, Arm & Hammer's on that one. Guess what? This is Arm & Hammer and Earl Sweatshirt. Billy Woods, Elucid, Earl Sweatshirt. On Haram, I keep almost saying Hamas on the mind. On Haram, there is Falling Out of the Sky with Earl Sweatshirt and Arm & Hammer, Earl Sweatshirt, Billy Woods, and Elucid. So a cool little sister thing going on right there. And then also Fire in the Hole. I remember that song. And I'm like, wait, I remember that song. It's because it's just a good closer. Earl Sweatshirt kind of always nails closers. So that was sick. Yeah, and that's it. I would show you my cat. I would pick her up and show her to the camera, but she's napping and she's like really cute when she naps. That hurts so bad. I don't know if I want to leave you with anything. The sky outside's doing some pretty cool stuff. It's like overcast, cloudy, and gross on this one side. And the sun is shining through just enough to like make all the building fronts orange on the other side. So it's a really cool lighting effect. I might take a picture and post it somewhere. Okay, realistically, let me not get up on the camera like that. I could just film it. Dude, I am so like, I keep getting this shit caught on my teeth. Could I flip my camera mid recording? No, you can't. Apple is